All right, today we're going to talk about scales a little bit and how, specifically how they're related. So we're going to begin with C major scale quickly in review, and then we're going to move to the A minor scale, which is relative to C major. Then we're going to, in review, look at the C pentatonic scale, and then we're going to look at its relative pentatonic scale of A minor. All of this information, this stuff you can find in my book called Scales and Understanding the Guitar Fretboard. You can pick that up on Amazon. Plug. Okay, now, first of all, let's start with a C major scale, which you all know. I'm just playing it here in first position, and you'll notice that my tonal center is C. Right? Okay, and then we're going to use exactly those same notes and start from an A. Now through Okay, so you can very clearly hear a minor sound. Now, at this point, I want to mention that we're not in the same key. Even though we're playing exactly the same notes, we're not in the same key. This is in the key of C major, and the other was in the key of A minor. They have a different tonal center, even though they share the same notes. Okay, not in the same key. And when you're practicing this stuff, you can't practice them as if they are in the same key. You have to nail the tonal centers in order for them to sound like minor and major. Okay, let's move to C major pentatonic, which I have up here. And C major pentatonic removes the semitones. No fourth degree, no seventh degree. Okay, so that's in C major pentatonic. And of course, we can take that across the fretboard. Just an example. Pentatonic, C major pentatonic, and C major pentatonic, and then C major pentatonic. You can hear that they all sound very, very similar, right? Because they are very, very similar. They're exactly the same, except in different regions of the fretboard. Okay, and then finally we would be repeating the first position we started with, an octave higher. Okay, you get the idea. All right, but now what we want to do is take each of those pentatonic scales and change the tonal center to an A. Next one, and we move up the fretboard starting on A, emphasizing A is our tonal center. Right? And then you all know this probably, right? Everybody seems to know this position. Somehow sits right in the middle of the fretboard in many, in the key of A anyway. And everybody seems to know that position, or in the or in E, but that's another topic. And then we move up the fretboard and do the same thing, but always start on the A. So in this case, I have to move up an octave. Right? You get the idea, okay? And there's A there. You can tell it doesn't sound like C major anymore. We're in a different key. And as I'm moving up the fretboard, there we have A. Right. And that's A minor, and then A minor up here, a repeat of the first one. All right, so those were all A minor pentatonic scales. So when you practice your scales, relate the scales, play them relatively, think of them relatively. So you're not just learning random pictures up and down the fretboard, but you understand how scales are integrated. It just takes a very slight change to completely change the sound of a scale. That's why they're called relative, well, because they use the same notes, but they just shift tonal centers, right? It's similar to modes, but again, that's another topic. Okay, so learn all of these scales up and down the fretboard, and the same thing applies to every key. And so start with C major scale, then move to A minor scale, the 7-note A natural minor or Aeolian mode. The C major scale is Ionian mode. The relative minor is Aeolian mode, and then do the take away the 4th degree and the 7th degree of a major pentatonic scale, and you'll have a major pentatonic scale starting on C, and still with those same degrees removed, started on an A, and you'll have an A minor pentatonic scale. Now, right after this video, I'm going to shoot one for the blues scale, which is very closely related to these scales. And again, we can extrapolate it across the entire fretboard. I think you'll find that one really interesting. So good. Thanks for dropping by, and think of your scales as related forms, and always fill up the fretboard in every position and region. Okay, good. See you. Bye.